Oh, hello everybody. I hired a producer. He didn't tell me we were on camera. You guys caught me picking some queso dip out my teeth. So, you people have seen my videos. You get my sense of humor. Rocky asked me if I would please share with people what happened to me at Camp Liberty. So I'm going to do this as best I can in the style and manner I choose. We're going to have some fun. So, Daddy-O, where should I start? Should I start when I first met Kelly, or should I just start right at Camp SLiberty and we'll get to when I met Kelly later? Camp. Okay, so we're going to start with Camp. That's my producer. I don't pay him money, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, let's see, I flew down early Monday morning. I believe it was April 10th. And got myself my rental car, drove out to Pahrump, went out to Camp Liberty, and I'd met John Lamb and Kelly. Well, I'd met John Lamb in Nevada during the first tier trial. So I felt comfortable going down there with John Lamb being there. I didn't feel like I was flying down alone. You guys, you've heard enough of me talk about my handicap. When I went down there, my husband and my doctor required that I stay in a hotel. I didn't camp at Camp Liberty. And they required me to take a GoPro so that I could film in case I should be attacked again, as I was in downtown Portland when Ammon and everybody was up here for the first trial. I was hit by an anarchist. Was I or was I not, Father? Yes. So my husband was ticked that I didn't press charges, as was my doctor, but you know, I felt that taking any sort of attention away from what I was down there to talk about, to try to educate people about, the message would have been lost if it had been like, oh, look at this stupid fat old lady gets hit by some dumb punk. You know, I just wasn't going to do it. So I promised them that, yes, I would take a camera and make sure that I wasn't assaulted. Or I had proof, if I were assaulted, that I could press charges. So I get down there. I feel safe. I do have a lot of video of what took place in the days before. My husband's trying to keep me on track. 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, so my husband is trying to keep me on track, and then I got distracted. So I go into Camp Liberty, and everybody's getting along just fine. There is, of course, tension because you've got the guards going by and counting us and doing all kinds of nonsense. And, you know, they made us move. We were threatened with being trespassed and arrested if we didn't get off county property for not having a permit, which we found out we didn't have to have a permit because Neil Wampler, a very, very wise man, diffused what could have been a not pleasant situation and said, hey, I'm going to go into town and we're going to find out about getting this permit, and we're going to cooperate. In the meantime, you know, we all moved. So, you know, I really was there. I was there. I'm a real person. I was there. I'm no plant. Okay, so I meet a lot of wonderful people. You know, one guy, I'm not going to name his name, but one fella, and you know who you are, and I'll tag you in this, and I'll send it to you, said to me, oh my God, you're that crazy lady. And I said, why, yes, I am. You guys have no idea the crazy you've unleashed. You know, everything was great. It was wonderful. It was, we all felt we were there for something positive. We thought we were there for, to draw attention to the plight of political prisoners. I know that's why I got my crippled ass on an airplane and flew down there. So anyway, you know, we were all getting along fine. And I even opened my hotel room. I opened my hotel room to one of the original Oregon defendants, came, showered in my room. I was being hospitable and wonderful, and you know, that's who I am, baby. That's who I am. Rocky was there. So anyway, everything's grooving right along, and must have been that Wednesday night. Kelly and Gavin roll on into camp and start mandating who does what, when, where, how, and why, and with whom. After we all stand around and pray with them, I walked over to the mound of dirt that Dave Fleeman had put the 3 flags in. I think it was an appeal to heaven, an Lavoy, and an American flag. And I think I can't remember. You guys will have to remind me. I can't remember if the flag was upside down. Anyway, you know, there was a lot of discussion about that. I don't think it was. I think the discussion and everything happened after the fact. Pardon me for getting sidetracked once again. But again, I was there. So after we all stand around the mock prison cell thing, and I'm over doing what I'm doing now, you know, sort of FaceTiming here, or whatever the heck it's called, live feeding, and you know I'm mocking it now. So, oh honey, I love you, I love you. I'm going to call you later, sweetheart. Pickle biscuit kisses. Okay? So, after we're done praying and being all pious, #pious, I am doing this sort of thing here, and I'm over by the 3 flags, and the wind's blowing like crazy. My wonderful hat, I think I might have been wearing this one. My hubby got me this in Cabo. You know, I hear this screeching, this pterodactyl in heat screeching at me. Are you live streaming? I'm like, yeah, I am. You have something to say? You want to come over here and talk? All right, well, I really don't know what that was all about, but I'm just going to continue about my business. So that was the start of it. I walked back on over to camp where everybody was sitting around the table, and there's that pterodactyl in heat, Sister Grifter wife. And and I think Lindsay was on my feed and said, oh, she finally got here, give her a hug for me. And I said, sure. And I went over and I gave her a hug. I think there was a backhanded apology of some sort out of her mouth, talking about she didn't want what she was talking about being broadcast, and she wanted to make sure that people were only live streaming when and where she thought it was appropriate. Honey, I may be blonde, but I'm not stupid. Okay? At that time, I still wanted to believe that she was just exhausted from her apparent trials and tribulations on the road, where she was supposedly ripped off and her automobile suffered some difficulties, and we all sent her money. #muff merch. Send me some money. They sabotaged my car. So the next day, I talked to John in the morning about how I had my feelings hurt, and I really wanted to talk to Kelly about what had happened, and I wanted him to sit in on the conversation because I didn't want any sort of gossip or anything to happen. He said perhaps it was just best that I just flat out tell her she hurt my feelings. So I went into the post office as I had done couple of days prior. I don't know. I know I went into the post office 2 or 3 times to get the Camp Liberty mail and check on why it wasn't being delivered. So while I was there was this cute card with a cartoon caricature, obviously, of these 2 little monkeys. One's picking bugs out of the one monkey's hair. And it said, if you were a monkey, I would pick the bugs out of your hair. Or whatever, bugs out of your fur, whatever they have. I don't know. Pick my own nose, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, you open it up and it said, but if you were the bug, I'd help you hide. And I thought, after what I'd learned in Nevada at the first trial I attended down there, that anybody who dared share Facebook posts was then considered an unindicted co-conspirator in an attempt to overthrow the federal government. So I thought that card was hysterical. And part of the reason I went down to Pahrump was to talk to Kelly about joining me in a business venture. And that business venture would have been something like this, where I could be my smart-ass self. And she could provide facts, help me coordinate people to interview, people to talk to, a better way to get this message out, right? That we're all not a bunch of dumbass redneck hillbillies or domestic terrorists, for God's sakes. I'm not a domestic terrorist. I'm an American. So anyway, part of the reason I went down there was to ask her to please join me in my business venture. So I bought that card and said in there, you know, I'm sorry you had a bad trip, or it was like, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it here safely. And I signed my name. So I'm going to stop there for the moment because it's 12 minutes in by my count, and I don't want to go too long. So I'll let you guys digest that, and then I'm gonna start the next portion of this. All right. Thanks for listening.